and not solve problems.
Gentlemen,
Yeah,
according to my
So the
absolutely.
perspective,
Manipur
interstate
issue
council
also
are not
contribute
the
to the
main
weak
reason for
policies
the
in our
extremism,
country.
because interstate
And
council
people
has
now
the
think that they are
interstate
enough capable to take the law in their hands, but due to the weak policies, they do not find themselves fear by the policies that are strict. And if they find themselves inculcating themselves in wrong areas, then some policies that are giving them the strict punishment. So this policies, lack of policies, is the primary reason of being riots in our country.
I
gentlemen, the
completely agree with
I
extremism is
do
Ajay,
also
what he
the
partially
said.
main
agree with Ajay
foreign
what
influence
he
is also
said
the main
in.
reason, because the Khalistan issue, which is raised in 1984, is also the also the by the Canada, and so foreign influence is also the main reason. And interstate is not possible, because the many states have the interstate council, so they, like, the issue between the rivers also is settled between the states by the Supreme Court. So
So,
this is not the
yes,
reason.
gentlemen,
Foreign
I do
influence
agree with
and
partially,
the
I
weak
partially,
Punjab.
policies
I partially
I
by
agree
do
the
with
agree with
Pooja,
policies.
what
Punjab
he said.
on
Just because, as we
foreign
have seen, the
influence.
Canadian, mostly people in Canada they are also Indians. So how can you say that the foreign policy is foreign influence is the main cause?
Okay,
So
okay.
in Canada also,
Yeah,
there are
gentlemen, it's
many,
totally
there are
depends on
many
us how we take
Punjabis,
this
there are
responsibility
many
on us.
Punjabis
Interstate
who
How
are
we
living in
Yeah,
the
Punjab,
Canada.
Punjabi, but
they have
Khalistan
the different
supporter,
demands, and
Canadian
these
President
these are the
Trudeau, they are
extremists,
supporting
not the many
Canada.
of the peoples uh, who are the
But
residents of the
there are
Canada. They are
but
the
there are
Khalistan,
many Punjabis also
they wanted to
like living
separate the
in
India from
Canada
the.
also, and they
No,
are
we
promoting
are
Yeah,
the
not
Khalistani.
indirectly, it's
about
the weak
Canada, but
politics enables foreign influence. If you have a good politics internally, if internally very strong, then definitely no foreign influence can have overcome power to overcome us. The foreign
Yeah, I
entities can
Yes,
completely agree
only
with
the
Ajay.
policy is
exploit
also the
internal
main
Yes,
reason.
divisions.
as we have also,
If, if we take the
if
example
our
of
policies
nationalism,
are strong, so definitely
the main
nothing
policy
can harm
is raised
like
because
the
of the
other
weak
countries,
policies in the
like the
area of
other
pest
influence
control.
cannot harm us. So if our own policies is good, gentlemen, so the reason for extremism and the riots should be, as we have seen also in the Manipur cases, the two communities of dispute in between the Metis and the Kukis. So if
Yes,
our policies is strong, so there's also an internal dispute in this. So
yes,
because of
the
the
policy is
policies,
also the main
the
reason,
foreign
because the nationalism is raised because of the raised in the West Bengal, and the weak policies, the people are going to poverty, so the people raise the weapons for the protecting their rights, so that the its weak policy caused the extremism and the riots in the country. Also, the
Yeah,
yeah, I
gentlemen,
agree, agree
and
with
as
the
we
him.
are
I
going good,
agree.
recent
so
cases
gentlemen,
also,
as
the
we can all
they
agree on
set
the
up,
interstate
they raised for
dispute,
the
as
arms
we have
because of the
seen that
reservation,
the Manipur
and
crisis,
this reservation
as
caused the
the weakest, yeah, Pujat, you can complete your point. Yeah, Pujat.
sorry, kya?
You can continue.
So what basically happen in the times of crisis, basically weak politics amplify the grievances, and it's the government, they act very delayed, means delayed actions by them. They fail to act quickly following relief to the people, and that is the reason that our tensions between the
Yeah,
party
Gentlemen, as
escalate.
we
definitely.
have seen
I
Implementation of the
completely
that
agree
policies
with
is not
Ajay
the
what he said.
not the
as we
reservation.
have
Also,
seen
we
that
have
the interstate dispute is a major role in that, in the extremism and riots. As we can see in the Manipur crisis, the not knowing of the lower communities, it is just creating a riots in the whole country. As we have to also allow the ASPA Act in the Manipur area, as right now the Kuki and Meiti Act is the communities are fighting over it. So due to of that, we
yeah.
have to get on the riots in the country.
Yeah,
Gentlemen,
I
in
agree with
besides
Sahil what he
1901,
my
said.
gentlemen,
So
in
as
1901,
also
the
we have
Kuki
seen,
community is the one
as also
percent
we
of
have
the.
seen in north part, like the JNK borders also we have seen there are many riots and all the things are doing. If our policies are strong, so definitely they're killing our troops also in the borders. And
for,
also like the Article 370 as it is abolished, so it is quite good for our country also.
foreign influence
And now
also
yes.
have great impact on the extremists and riots in our country. As 1 month ago, Mizoram CM went to USA for a conference, and he said that his Kuki people should not be belonged or should be separated within the border of three countries,
But
which is
yeah,
Myanmar
gentlemen, but
and
Adding to
as we have
Pratik's
also
Bangladesh
point, I would
and
just like to
India.
highlight. Adding to
Let
Pratik's point, I would just like to highlight that in fact there are multiple agencies in foreign countries that plan these riots in the opposite country. For example, let's consider the case of Pakistan. They may plan some riots in India or Bangladesh just to have their financial advantage or disturb the financial situation of our country.
The chief
Yeah,
Gentlemen,
minister
in
these
1901,
are the
was
factors
Yeah,
elected
definitely.
government
gentlemen,
of
as
But
Minister
per
of
your
what's
knowledge,
the
you
main
are
reason? What
aware.
the policies that led the foreign power to get in the country? These are the weak policies, the weak governments, the delayed action of the
to
government, and
actually
also it's not about only
Yeah,
Mizoram and the Manipur issue. It's evident from the past also. The 1984 Sikh riots, how the mob acted to upon Sikhs after the assassination of the Indira Gandhi. So there are many multiple cases in the past also that suggest that the weak policies that have
USA
internally
USA
led
wants a
Yeah,
to
separate
down.
gentlemen,
country for Christian. USA
I
wants a
would like to
separate country
extend the
for
point given by
Christians
Mr. Dhruv, as he mentioned
in
that there are the countries who
Asia
float these
between
extremism
Bangladesh,
activities
India,
into the
and
boundaries of foreign countries.
Myanmar.
Like if we are aware about
The
these
local
extremist activities from the other foreign lands, then our intelligence agency also aware about these. But why they do not able to take the actions? Because of the weak policies in our government and
it's not
people.
gentlemen, I agree
not
with
only
Akshay
about
what he
weak
said.
policy.
So as we have also
Foreign
seen in the
policy,
Bengaluru
foreign
also, so there are many peoples, only support the Canadian people, Kannada peoples. So because of the policy, we can say Bengaluru and the North people are very much bullied there in Bengaluru if they go for the job and for many other purposes. So they are bullied also because of the weak policies, gentlemen.
Gentlemen, as Akshay said about it, I want to highlight a point in that. As we have seen in the recent case of the cafe bomb blast in the Bangalore, it is just happened due to of the enhancing of the small local groups to provoke them to get an interstate dispute to get their rights for the identity of them. So it is mainly of the interstate dispute is
Yeah.
the main point in that.
yeah, gentlemen.
Agreeing
So
to
I
previous
believe
I
speaker,
believe,
what we can
gentlemen, it is the
clearly
foreign
see in the
influence
current
which
scenario
impacts
is
the
that
most in
not just the
extremism and riots
interstate
in our
problems, but
country.
also
As we have
the
seen recently
intrastate
that
problems are a
Bangladesh
major
have been
cause of this.
burning
We
and
have clearly
US.
seen in the AK, just a second, if you allow me. So, according as we have clearly seen, not just the interstate but the intrastate problems are also one of the major reasons of the contribution of extremism in the country. We have seen that the people are traveling from one part of the state to other part also affects the people from like we have seen in Bangalore that people who came for the work culture to Bangalore from Bihar, from UP, has faced a number of problems because of that. That also shows the extremism or the rights are increasing day by day, not just in these scenarios but also
Yeah,
other.
gentlemen, I partially agree with Akash what he said. So if a policy is made in Bengaluru, like if other person is coming to Bengaluru for the job purpose, so if policies are made strong, so definitely these riots can be removed, gentlemen.
And with
And
weak
Gentlemen,
currently,
I
the
policies,
government
believe
of
we have
Karnataka
seen the chances of being
arose about it
formulating
that
and
they are
spreading the
protecting their
information,
people.
fake information in the
And
society
also,
that also
when you
further
saw
escalates
the
these
root cause
extremism
about all the
activities in
issues,
the country.
our
please let
politics,
one person to
as
speak
we favor
at a time.
multi-party system, basically our government prioritize on that area from which they can get more and more seats. They don't see the northeast region just because they don't get enough shift from there. So it's because of their political gains and the advantage. It's only matters to them.
in
So it's the
1901,
we
Cookies communities are the 1% of total population in the Manipur, but in now the 26% of the total population in the Manipur. This is the unnatural gain in the population of the Cookies community. So government should implement the Aadhaar or uh, Aadhaar or
NRC.
other documents for counting their population, and also these policies have to reduce the riots or the residents of the Manipur to be settled on their original place. And also that there is many several reasons like in the interstates that there are the interstate council are established by the center. So there is a dispute between any state get be reduced, like in the river issues, in the like SYL issue, they can be settled by Supreme Court also. But the conclusion.
Agreeing to previous speaker's point, we can clearly see that most of the neighboring states like in northeast we have clearly seen that the people traveling from other part of the state to other part because of the communal differences, people have faced a number of problems into themselves, and because of that right has influenced a lot. We have also seen that Nagaland is also asking for a separate division of state into two parts. Also in the same scenario we have seen in Assam cases and in Tripura also the
In Mizoram case
same
also, it
goes
is
just for
same
just
thing we are
just a
demanding
second,
for a
Pratik.
separate.
Just a second, Pratik. If you allow me to complete, we can clearly see in the current scenario also, like we have distributed Ladakh and Jammu Kashmir. This essentially shows that because of our state, the other part of the state cannot get developed that much. So we can clearly see that because of that also, these interstate distributions should be done by the government, so that more and more influence and minimum rights could be
So
influence in the
I
area.
partially agree with Akash what he said, as we have seen also, Article 370 was abolished there. So for me, that is the case that the riots and the extremism in the country is not is much look into.
I
Like it
agree
is
with
not more.
I agree with
Whatever
Akshit. In
Akash
case of
said,
Gujarat, also we can say that different religions can be a reason to a riot itself.
Yes.
Yeah, with weak
the
Yeah,
feeling
policies
of
in our
definitely,
country, we have
definitely, it's
also
all
seen,
about the weak
because
government
of
and
because
the
we all
policy
are aware
failures by
about the
them.
weak policies
Means
in our
please one at a
country.
time, please.
As
basically
a
the policies
yes,
made by the government usually favor a particular group or development of a particular region that lead to marginalization and feeling of differentness among different group of people. So it promote a different group to evoke from them and have a right for their rights. So if the government be equally and equally for all, made equal laws for that support in every each and everyone, then such cause will not happen in the.
yeah, I totally agree with the point given by Mr. Ajay. Why we are aware about the weak policies in our country, but why we are not changing these? Because these policies are favoring a particular portion of the society, and due to the vote politics in our government does not has the courage to take those issues to forward and to solve and to give the practical solution to the problem of these extremism and rights, and that is why they are now manifolding itself and increasing
So I
all the
partially agree
races
with
in the
Akshay what he's
extremism.
saying, as we have seen in the recent news also, like yesterday's news, like in UP Sambal case, there are many people, like 5 people were shot there. So because of the weak policies there in the UP, so that the riots are causing.
Yeah,
So I think
gentlemen,
that's
As
why
well, I
we
agree with you. As we have seen that
we
in
know
the
that
UP
in our
also,
country we
the
have the weak politics,
politicians
but
are just
why we
trying
are
to
not
manipulate
changing and why
the
we are not
communities, and they are
getting
not
a
using
point a
policies for
strong
their benefit.
firmness on
They
these
are just
issues?
upset.
Gentlemen, this is not based on the policies. This is based on the wrong information provided to the people of the Sambhal.
Yes,
The
gentlemen,
four
I
people
agree with you.
are
As we have
four
seen
people.
No,
that in the UP, as Akshit
The
has
wrong
said,
information
the
provided to the
politicians
people
are just
around the
making policies for
most.
their own benefit and just targeting a specific communal tribe or the group
Yes,
to make their get their votes for them. So it is basically due to the weak policies for not the communities who wants to
so.
improve themselves.
Yeah,
It is
I
also a
agree
thing.
with Sai what he's saying, gentlemen.
I
As both the previous speaker has mentioned that the differences has always been there, we can clearly see that division of Andhra has also taken place because of the language barrier. Language also plays a vital role in our culture, as we can clearly see. Because of that, we have seen the distribution of UP into Uttarakhand and other parts too. This also shows that, like Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, the divisions of these areas also shows that because of the communal differences and because of the linguistic differences in the area, these interstate disputes, and because of that, rights occur on the regular basis in these areas. For that, we can clearly, what
Yeah,
government can
I
do is
partially agree with
make
Akshay
more
on
and
what he's
more
saying,
local authorities, so
gentlemen.
that
Like he's saying the
these governments
linguistic
can talk to
barriers.
each other and resolve the differences.
I do
Yeah,
agree with
That's
Akash,
happened
gentlemen.
Akash, but
quite
I
in a
want to add one point
decade
in
or
foreign
a,
influence.
yeah.
Recently,
But the
earlier,
main reason of the cause is that the weak
whatever.
policy of the
Acha,
government.
can you please allow me
Yeah,
to
Okay,
speak?
okay, okay,
gentlemen, we
okay.
can make we can make one policy that one language should be compulsory, like the English should be mandatory
According to
in
NEP
every
2020,
in
which
wherever
according
you
to
go
NAP,
in, like in
NEP
India,
2020,
English
there
Yeah,
are
Akshit,
should
three
be
can we give a
languages
mandatory for
chance
formula.
to
that.
the
Three
We
language
can
Pratik to
make a
formula.
complete his
policies.
point?
According to
Yeah,
NEP
Pratik.
2020, there are three language formula. First is mother tongue, which is the primary level, and second is Hindi, English, or any other thing, and third is any other classical language. Okay?
gentlemen,
So
the
that
language
and
Gentlemen,
that
I,
will
I,
implement
I
all
and
partially
both
that
agree
will
with
will
be
Pratik
implemented
defined by
54.
the language.
Pratik,
Language.
being
what he's saying.
implemented in
There are the
most of the
many
parts of
different
Gentlemen,
India.
many castes, many
as
many
Akash said, that linguistic
many
barriers
tribes.
plays
They have the different language,
a role in
different.
that. So what I think is English should be made mandatory. Like
No, no.
such policies should be made that English should be mandatory in wherever you go in India, like for the job purpose or wherever you go for
English
anything.
Gentlemen,
is a
Gentlemen,
across
I
global.
India there
partially
Yeah,
are
I
agree
do
with you,
agree
but
with you.
due
English is a
to
global language,
as
so
we have seen that in India is a very
everyone
diverse
should
type
country.
of
know
people.
English.
Due
But
to our diversity, we can't make any language as a permanent language. Yeah, but we can find a common language for the peoples, and there should be a policy to identify.
Gentlemen, that's what I'm saying.
That
English
is
should be
why
made
three
mandatory.
language
Yes.
has been implemented by the government of India in our school curriculum. Three language
Gentlemen,
formula.
the foundation of our constitution is to be laid on the basis of the equality. If we pose a particular language on the group of our country which is diverse in its linguistic and the cultural basis, then it
So,
creates a undue
gentlemen,
pressure on them.
it is
So we
gentlemen, it is equal for everyone. Like in India, it
According
is
to
like North India is also they have also different native languages. So what
according
we
to
are
three
saying that
language
we can make
formula,
a single language like English should be made mandatory. Like if a
that is
North
there.
person,
That is
yeah.
there.
Gentlemen, what we have clearly
According
seen
to
our
three
that
language
country is
once
known
formula,
for its
the
also,
primitive language
gentlemen,
are
what
being
we have
used.
seen previously
Primitive
by the
language are
government
used. So
policies
there
that
is no
once
issue.
once government has the education ministry has tried their level best so that they could implement one language essentially of the south to be read in north, and Hindi must be in the south region. With that, English has to be a certain language. But because of the
But
south political differences and not political differences,
this
these
creates
Yeah,
policies could
a
not
that's
be
what I'm
this
saying.
implemented.
The
creates a
because of
havoc
the
So what we
policies,
can do is we can
Tamil
improve
Nadu.
these
yeah, Akash,
policies
that's
so
what
that
I'm
Tamil
saying.
Nadu
Because of the
this
government did not
policies,
agree to this.
it is happening.
So
Because of the policies,
three
it is happening.
languages came to the solution of this problem.
also,
Gentlemen,
gentlemen,
I
But
if we
disagree
can
with your
clearly
point
see in
that
the current
if
scenario,
they
as
want Tamil,
India being a
they
very
can keep
diverse
Tamil
country,
as their primitive language or home language, and second language they can take Hindi, and third can be English or any classical language.
mandatory of the any language is not possible because new education policy is give the vernacular language teach the student in the vernacular language. There are the
Huh.
many communities, many tribe SC communities are in the India, so that they have the different culture. So the implementation of the one language is not possible in all over the India, and they have the like we can English is not our language also,
So,
but we have
gentlemen,
the
rights and
rights are
extremism
not gentlemen, rights are
will be
not being
happening
solved
there.
by the changing the languages. Okay,
so agreeing
rights are
all the
not solved
points,
by
we could
changing the
also see
language.
one of the major
rights are
reason of
rights
being
are solved.
dispute in the interstate in the rights and from because of the
They
interstate
have the
problem,
interstate council, they have the
because of
Supreme Court, they have the many they have the
Yeah,
many things
yeah,
that
yeah. We can say that also.
Pooja
Yes,
got
we
your
can say that
point.
also. We are
Pooja got your
considering
point.
that also.
Hmm.
Interstate is also the problem, but major problems is the weak policies. Like if
yeah,
the policies
gentlemen,
is
Is
strong
I would
in
like to
the
make a
It is
country,
point
not
here.
so
always the
definitely our
government that has the
all
problem.
three
What
interstate
all three
dispute will be
point all
improved.
Now,
Akshit,
what we can
all
clearly
three
see,
leads are equally important.
Pratik, just a second, if you
Okay,
allow.
okay.
So, what we can clearly see, India is a diverse country with different geographies around the part. As we have clearly seen that the government is trying their level best to provide more and more transport corridors or the transit corridors. But in areas like northeast or the uppermost countries part, this is not possible. Because of that, unemployment is also one of the major causes. Because of that, people trying to travel to the other parts and get the job of those areas. Because of that, the local people of that area might feel a problem, and economical
Okay.
challenges are for them too. So these are also one of the major reasons. What government can do is improve the job quality and introduce private sector at a better pace and a better infrastructure, so that it
Yeah.
will be close to their areas and
Yeah,
more and more people can get
So,
their
yeah,
jobs in the
gentlemen,
future.
Akash,
so
it is
gentlemen,
related. It is related to the
why these
policies,
weak
not the
policies?
interstate
Yeah,
dispute. What you are
Okay.
saying, it
All
is
three.
related to
so
the
gentlemen,
policies. They
why
can
this
make that.
weak?
Akshit, can
Yeah,
you please allow
They
me?
can
let
make
me
the
make a point.
connectivity good.
All three leads are equally important in my knowledge, because in foreign influence also, Sheikh Hasina has alleged earlier that US wants a separate country within India, Myanmar, Bangladesh, okay? Because the Kuki
Yeah,
community, they are
gentlemen,
maximum of
Pratik,
They
yes, I
follow
do partially agree with you.
Christian religion.
As
They,
in Bangladesh, you can see there are many Hindus who get bullied there and also attacked. So
they want
also, US president also mentioned the
US want a separate Christian country within this area. Okay? So
but Trump has mentioned that
Mizoram,
he also supported that Bangladeshi Hindus should be
most
saved.
most of the most of the Kuki community, they follow religion of Christianity. And when Mizoram government went to USA, he indirectly stated that he want a separate country. So
Adding to
I
Pratik's
foreign
do partially agree with Pratik.
Yeah,
adding to
gentlemen,
Akshit's
why these
point,
weak policies in our country is sustaining so long? Because these policies are to be implemented in such a manner on the basis of the equality in our country. but we have also aware about the demographic differences in our country, the social and the economic disparity in the country. So these policies are not to be completely fit in the context of the present time. So how we can solve this issue? We can require certain committee to be formulated in that direction, where we can find a pragmatic solution to this problem of weak policies in our country.
Gentlemen, we have the solution also. The Niti Aayog, the Planning Commission, which have the all state CM are present in the Niti Aayog. They have the implement one. They have to increase the one topic in the like discussing the issue between the states and the give the solution in this platform. This is beneficial for all the states. So Niti Aayog
Yeah,
is the
gentlemen,
platform. So
I
there are
agree
Gentlemen,
with
many other
Pooja
the
what he is
primary
saying.
function of the
As
Niti Aayog is to formulate the financial practices of
Niti
our
Aayog
country.
is
It's
for the
not
planning.
financial, not
Planning
financial.
commission,
As
not economic wise. It's a planning
Even
commission.
the development
What is the
as
development?
20, yes, it is a planning commission. As 2047, our aim is to get Viksit Bharat. So it is also related to that. We can
is
uh,
also related to the
do.
development
It is
areas
also
of India.
the policies like what they are making. It is also the policies, gentlemen.
But we
I
can
would like
clearly see, as
we
Pujat had said, that Niti Aayog has more and more all the CMs around the country. But the intra-state problems is also one of the major problems. For that, what we can do is, like panchayat system has always been there into the gram sabhas, we can make communities around them, and all the panchayat should be at a central position, so that the problems could be aware to the central as well as to the state government too, so that the disputes can be resolved at very early stage. Like we have clearly seen in the area of Manipur, as the dispute has begun, and there were no prior solutions given to them. This take place a very this happen at a very long pace, and because of that, currently it is a very huge problem for the state,
So yeah,
and we can
I
resolve at an
agree with
early stage
Akshay what
and
he's saying. So
get at the
for that we are doing one nation, one election. So yes, we are doing that for
adding
that.
to Akshay's points, what I would like to add is the interstate riots can be also linked with political stability of a singular state. For example, if we consider the Godhra Kand that happened in Gujarat, or recently the Manipur activity, as well as the riots during Kejriwal's time in Delhi that happened for the farmers, and both were all three of this events are linked with political instability of a singular state. So that's also a point that I would like to make.
And one more solution we can give: protection of ethnic group, their rights, their culture, and everything. So they are basically insecure about their culture and their specific food and all, and their reason. They do not
Gentlemen, we
get
have
many
also
job
Yes,
seen that the
opportunity and
government
all.
policy of one district, one product initiative, which has improved a lot of quality into the interstate, so that more and more people get economical benefits. As the tribal of those areas are getting better economical opportunities, this also helped to reduce these right and extremism at a very higher pace, because the ladies and the gents of that areas are working more and more into these areas, so that their products could be provided not just in India but in the outer world too. This benefit them economically, and they are getting more and more busier in these. As more people are getting busy into economical threats, the rights could eventually decrease in these areas. This shows that economic plays a vital role, and government is trying their level best to improve these qualities too.
Yes,
We
I
also
agree.
need to change
I
our
agree with you, Akash. The development and the job, giving a job to the youth, the development and if building the infrastructure in the creating the job opportunities for the persons over the like in Naxalism area like the West Bengal, like the Chhattisgarh, the Madhya Pradesh. There are the tribal areas. They don't raise the weapons or don't raise the voice for the separating the state or any other extremism or rights conducting rights. So employment or giving the job is the main policy in the government, so that rights and these
So
extremism are
yeah,
Education also
they
plays
can
a
make the
great role
policies.
in
They can make the strong policies for that. And also, we have seen in Manipur also there are many causes like why the things is happening there, why the dispute is
Would
happening.
like to say,
So
yeah,
the first
gentlemen,
reason was
how we can solve the
as
problem of weak policies in our country? We can solve this problem by spreading educational awareness. And how we can spread the educational awareness, like the Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan and the new education policies are can be attributed to the best possible solution for weak policies. in our country. As we also know that India being the most populated in terms of the youth population in our country, and if we had the rights and the enough awareness about the policies, then we can take the action and we
Yeah,
can use
gentlemen,
our intellectuality.
that is what we are saying. Yes, the policies are
So
need to be
agreeing to
good.
the policy and Akshay's point, what we can clearly see that government is providing more and more benefit to the MSME departments too, and the government is trying their level best so that at lower cities, at small cities or urban small urban areas or at the rural areas too, the people are trying their level best to start a new startups at their places and provide the best material from their places which is provided to them. Like in tea, we have seen that more and more brands are coming from Assam, so because they are local brands and because of the MSME policies only, this benefit them a lot. And by that, these extremists and the differences or the right differences between the people has shortened a lot by that, because they are getting more and more employment and they are
Yeah,
getting restricted to that too. This improved them a lot.
I
I
yeah, I
think
in
agree
order
with Akash.
most
in
of the
order to
riots happen with
extremism.
unemployment. When we are most employment started in states in UP, BR, so most of the employment are generate, and most of the people are working in industry or all things. Most of times not in you know about the Agniveer schemes. Most of the riots are happen with unemployment. When only for 4 years service for the person, so not only 4 years. So they riots they influence to other I think coaching center influence to student go for riots because of the more
Yeah,
10 years to become as a army man. So
The,
unemployment is a huge
the
reason
riots,
in
the riots
India.
and extremism
yes, yes, yes.
spread only because of the unawareness within the youth. Whatever happened during the Agniveer, the youth were not aware about, and the awareness program should be reached, and the
Yeah.
government should
But another is
go
security of job. Is
village
another
to
is
village to provide awareness, because extreme in the village, people are not aware, they are still illiterate, most of the people, and educational level are not that much
yeah, yeah,
high.
Yeah,
yeah.
agreeing to Pratik what he said. So we can
In
make our education policies like good, like as we have changed our education policies. So
Gentlemen,
yes,
as one of us has previously mentioned that water bodies in the country are very restricted, and because of that, a number of disputes are being there into the country. What government has did interlinking of these rivers so that water could be provided to the non rainy season rivers too, and because of that, these interstate disputes of the water has also improved at a number of paces. This also helps to reduce the rights, because we have seen in the rights scenario only the Kaveri river system bank, because of that two states are being at a position of being starting of the rights. Same goes for Haryana, Punjab. We have seen the Yamuna Satluj link project. Because of that, the people are the government, because of the governments, these policies can't be implemented. By improving these qualities also, these rights could be resolved at a faster pace.
yeah, yeah.
In order to
I
control
agree with Akash.
extremism and riots, government had to make some hard laws against the provokers who provoke the public in their speech, and also have to work on their justice system. That sometimes it takes almost 20 to 30 years to declare their result of a case, and it leads to uh, empower the uh, gundas of our country.
Also, gentlemen, what we have seen that the vital areas of our country, like Andaman, Nicobar, and Lakshadweep Islands, which were previously not connected to the our country that much, government is trying their level best to provide the connectivity at a 5G pace, 5G connectivity over those areas too. This also helps to the tribal and the villages over that area to get connected to our system. As one of us have mentioned, that education is a vital player, and by these instruments, education get improved in these areas, and because of that, the rights in those areas as well as the problems between them and us could be resolved at a faster pace.
according to Article 21(a), the free education up to 6 to 14 years is compulsory, and in this there are the many schemes like Make Up India, Startup India,
You are
Digital
not
India,
audible.
for the government of government job.
So anyone left with any point?